Sullivan. I'm a former IRS agent and teaching instructor with the IRS. Welcome to my YouTube station. I have about, I don't know, 2,000 YouTubes out. Most of you come to me because you see me on Fox Business News or News Nation, Newsmax, ABC, The Briefing Room, whatever. I've been on a plethora of TV stations. You can look at me at 777irs.com, and more importantly, see my team there of a bunch of former IRS agents, attorneys. We really specialize in IRS tax resolution. That's what we do well. I worked at IRS myself for a decade. I've been in private practice for 40 years. It's hard to believe. I've been doing this 50 years. This is my 51st year in doing this. So I want to tell you, if you owe IRS tax debt, these are 5 things you must do to be able to settle or move on from your tax debt. As a revenue officer, I've worked thousands of these cases. So just let me give you 5 top things that you need to know in dealing with IRS. Number 1, as a former IRS agent, the first 2 questions that account for 1 and 2 that the IRS is going to ask you are all your tax returns current? You have to have all your tax returns in the system, or IRS is not going to want to work with you. So you got to get caught up. Get someone to prepare the returns, weekend, whoever. IRS only wants the last 6 years. So if you're behind a whole bunch, if you've never filed, you file 6 years, that's it. You got a free pass with IRS. Number 2, you must be current on payment for the month we're in. So let's say you were to call us today and you wanted to get current today and you want to start anew. You have to at least make your first estimate payment, make sure your withholding's up to date, or if you owe business tax, make a federal tax deposit. That's number 2. So number 1, file your returns. 2, you want to go ahead and make sure you're at least current. Number 3, you want to get prepared for IRS a financial statement, a 433F if it's in the service center, a 433A if it's at a local revenue officer. Those are the forms they're going to use to settle your case. So once again, you want to file all your returns, make sure you get your deposits up to date, estimate payments, then you want to get that financial statement ready to go. Number 4, you want to make sure you have your current documentation ready to go. So if you're giving IRS a financial statement, they're going to want to generally see a copy of your pay stub, a copy of your bank statements, and a copy of your expenses. Those are really big things. So once you have that financial statement, you're going to be ready now to call IRS with your documentation. But I call this the big 5, the big 5th. This is what you have to know. How is IRS going to judge or grade your case? This is the big tip. It's really big. It's really big because it'll change your day. IRS is looking at 2 things. They're looking at your income and your expenses, and they're looking at your asset base. Well, your asset base is your asset base. IRS is going to check the values, but the big aha, and the big aha is going to be to you, is that IRS is going to use the national standards for income and expenses. That is, when you fill that financial statement, you're going to fill your own expenses out. If you use the 433A, that's where the giveaway, it says for IRS use only. You must know the IRS use and how they're going to apply that. What IRS does is you're going to give them your expenses, and they're going to say, no. You got to use our expenses put out by the Department of Labor, used by the Bankruptcy Trustee's Office. And if you want to know what that is, you better find out now or don't call them. This is what I want you to Google: IRS National Standards for Food and Clothing, IRS National Standards for Housing and Utility. Stop the video if you want. IRS National Standards for car ownership, and IRS for car expenses. IRS is going to substitute their expenses for yours, and you're going to find out you're going to have a lot of money left over to pay them most of the time. Well, you're welcome to do this by yourself. You at least know what you have to do. I call them the big 5, with the 5th being the 5th. If you have any questions, you can always call me. We can do your representation, but at least you know the truth from a former IRS agent. Give me a subscription. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.